You're like 30 something years old.
Oh, ooh, okay.
I turned 30 this year.
Yeah, man.
God damn, that fucking hurts, man.
Have you seen the non-verbal drama? Now we're gonna look at that in a second. Although I need to be careful with that because I'm obviously. It sounds like James got in an argument with someone. I'm always a little biased towards James. I know James really well. I know he really likes to win, and I also know he's a good person and usually has good takes. And I've never seen James like get mad at someone and it be cringe and like, you know, he's like a pretty normal dude. So I don't want this to like turn into some finger pointing like streamer against streamer and I'm like taking sides or whatever. I'll try to just dissect it as it happens. Let me start with the one that I've seen. It's an Ellesmere clip called, and this from days ago, called Man-Child Cringe Meltdown. Wait, it's not called that on Twitch? Wait, I'm so confused. This isn't linked in my Discord. Man-Child Cringe Meltdown. But then when I click on it, it says Nerf being cringe. Can you edit clip titles? You can? I mean, you must be able to. I didn't even know you could do that. Why would they change the title? Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm overthinking it. All right, so they're just doing a dungeon. Let's watch it.
You ever seen Dragonflight on your healing meter? In maggots.
No.
In maggots. Okay.
Full 70 of them.
Hopefully you're
70 of them.
you're not supposed to be convert. Oh wow. What?
Dude,
Focus up.
He keeps overlapping me.
Grab.
Okay, so what happened there was when you're doing a super high fortified Waycrest manor, you can't let the maggots cast go off. So so Nerf says in, and didn't like, I don't know if they have like a CC order or a rotation or something, but basically they start casting, no one says anything, and then Nerf stuns and Ellesmere stuns, then he gets mad at Ellesmere for that.
70 of them.
You're not supposed to be convert. Oh wow. What?
Dude,
Focus up.
He keeps overlapping me.
Grab.
You didn't say anything.
Oh, James hits Nerf with "you didn't say anything."
Yeah, you didn't say. You just walked in.
No, I said I stunned.
Oh, you didn't say that.
You said you stunned as they were casting, bro.
I just
No,
popped every
it's always
round.
me stunned first. Okay, I'm not.
Well, okay, his story changed. His story initially was I said I was first, and he didn't. And then it just sounds like it was just a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Sounds good. Wait, Nerf stuns as Ellesmere stuns and also says a stun after he's stunned. Wait.
You said then. Yeah, you did.
I think we're overanalyzing this specific interaction, but it doesn't really matter.
Dude,
Focus up. You're not supposed to be convert. Oh wow. What?
Dude,
Focus up.
He keeps overlapping me.
Grab.
You didn't say anything.
Yeah, you didn't say. You
I
just walked
stunned.
in.
No, I said I stunned.
You said you stunned
my
as they were
fucking God.
casting, bro.
I just
No,
popped every
it's always
round.
me stunned first. Okay, I'm muting for the rest of the run.
Potion.
Okay. Well, I don't know exactly who was in the wrong, but the response of I'm muting for the rest of the run, that person's immediately the person that was wrong.
He's nonverbal.
Don't go nonverbal. No,
I'm
please.
muting for the rest of the run.
Please.
I hate playing with this healer sometimes.
Okay. Do they have like long-standing beef? I never watch them play. Do like Ellesmere and Nerf, are they like mom and dad are fighting or like, wait, I think I need to watch full video. Is this where all the drama happens? Is it in this key? Because I saw this days ago. It's at the end of the key. Okay.
When
It's
I say
after
sometimes, I mean a lot of the time.
All the time.
Oh my god.
Potion.
I mean, Ellesmere's taking it well. Ellesmere's just like rolling with the punches. Bro, that's actually kind of sad because clearly he's like really mad at him and he's kind of shitting on him. And Ellesmere's response, unless he has an unbreakably strong mental, which I don't know him super well. It seemed like that wasn't the case before, but he's rolling with the punches and saying either he constantly gets shit on and has had to learn how to deal with it, which is sad, or he's just a huge beast. And no one says anything for the next...
I'm dead.
Someone rips an I'm dead but then doesn't die. Dude, by the way, that's healers' favorite things, by the way, is when you claim that you're dead before you die. They fucking love that. Like, I don't know if they actually love that, but they will do everything in their power to prove you wrong. It's some spiteful shit. Like, they will keep you alive no matter what. All right, someone said it's at the end of this run. So I guess we'll watch full video.
Hopeful. You ever seen Dragonflight on your
And I'm oh, the end of this VOD is right after this. Oh, so this must be where all this shit goes down. Go back like 30 seconds. Okay, is there more context?
Dumb shit. Reroll our other 30 and do another 30 Throne of the Titans. No,
Can I get one
man,
heal?
no. I knew as soon as you proc you were gonna say that dumb shit.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
What are you
Okay.
doing? one throwing the tides out of this, right?
Don't wish that into existence.
I hope so.
Fucking hot.
And then we re-roll our other 30 into another 30 thrown of the tines.
Ooh,
No,
did I get one
man,
heal?
no. I knew as soon as you proc you were gonna say that dumb shit.
Yeah, fucking
What were you
idiot.
doing? Tell me what global you're pressing there. If you say Tiger Palm, I'm
I don't know Nerf very well, but is he being 100% serious right now? Or is he like, bro, tell me, like, cause like it's really hard to imagine when you ask someone to tell you what global they're using if you're being serious, cause that's just like an insane thing to say.
leaving the group.
Don't leave the group.
I literally don't know what global
It
I
was a
was
tiger
pressing.
palm. It was a tiger palm.
And then no one speaks. Very
Also,
hype.
Tiger Palm is part of how I heal. You know that, right?
Propaganda.
Yeah, that's the propaganda.
Holy shit.
Okay, he said that's propaganda, so he's still a little tongue in cheek. He's just joking. He's not super
Hopeful,
pissed.
You ever seen Tiger
Hopeful.
Palm on your
Yeah.
healing meter? In. It's
And then here's where this happens.
Hopefully you're.
So it's really hard to do the stun thing because maybe they have like they play together all the time, right? So maybe they just know that Nerf always stuns first and it never changes. Because I don't know who their CC caller is, right? But that makes me not think that when because James immediately says no one said anything.
You're not supposed to be Oh
I stunned.
wow! What? the-
Dude, you
Focus
dude,
up.
he keeps overlapping me.
He didn't say anything.
So James said he didn't say anything, which makes me think that they don't have a set CC rotation because if they knew that he was first and Ellesmere overlapped him, it would be a clear mistake. Oh, he did rip a focus up.
Yeah, you didn't say. You
I
just walked
stunned.
in.
I love how we're analyzing
You said
one
you-
small mistake in like a huge dungeon. Like it's like the reason for all this. Clearly they have a bunch of like really deep rooted stuff. All right, where's the
They
next
were
interesting
casting, bro.
I'm trying to give you guys the play by play. When's the next interesting thing that happens? It's the basement before the third boss. The pull before Lady Waycrest. All right, perfect. Let's skip ahead. Oh, that's right before this. Okay.
No, immediately. Should have said something. though.
Don't pull, please, Ellie. That would be so grief.
Yeah, I'm hugging the right.
Oh, we're dead on this pull without Nerf, right?
Without Nerf?
No.
Oh yeah.
Where's Nerf?
Nerf, you gone,
Oh,
bro?
he's been muted, bro.
The comms.
Oh no.
Oh,
that's
no.
Oh,
fine.
he's actually muted.
Me and the.
Okay. I mean, that's brutal for sure. That's brutal.
Other mage on diviner.
Yeah, that's true. Me first?
Let me kidney. You want to
She
make?
done.
Oh, Soul Volley goes off. GG. I mean, it's probably better he mutes himself than No. Muting yourself is different than like, yeah, that's First of all, who's this team shot caller? Like who calls CCs, or do they not do that? It's Nerf. I mean, you just can't unless this is like a homework key. Like they don't really care about this key. Let's see.
I will. Actually, that goes off as a sweep Ellie or AoE stop.
Already swept.
So James, I'm assuming here is trying to fill in for Nerf, not saying anything.
This is. I got DD next.
You can res both of us.
All right, so I can already tell James is about to be really
Oh,
mad.
just me.
Because
What,
James
Nerf, stop
doesn't,
being a fucking idiot.
dude. Because James doesn't play this game. Like it sounds stupid, but James doesn't play this game for fun. He's like actually a competitor. Like he only wants to do things to win or like do the highest level keys. Like that's the only thing he fucking cares about. So like, if there's someone that he's playing with that isn't like fully bought in or is like doing like this, this situation is perfectly crafted to make James mad. And James usually doesn't get mad, by the way. Like he's usually like pretty focused, even keeled. He'll joke around and stuff. Like this is a perfectly crafted situation to make James mad.
Yeah, bro.
Wait, let's see what he said.
This.
Just me.
Grid.
What, Nerf? Stop being a fucking idiot, bro.
Grid.
Like, you're such a dude.
It's kind of valid. It's kind of valid in this scenario.
There's no way you proc cheat on a trash pull and mute your mic for the rest of the whole fucking day.
Lining shit, I can't kick.
I mean,
We have to line everything, hopefully, I think.
yeah. Someone said Nerf is 30 with kids. He just has very poor social skills. Wait, what? What does that mean? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Like because he has kids, he has bad social skills. Oh, that's such a funny comment.
You first.
I mean, that is true. Like, and this isn't really a having kids thing, but like, so I'm sure this scenario that is happening with Nerf in this group right now is like probably deep rooted with a bunch of other things that have happened in the past. Usually things like this don't happen. But that being said, sometimes people can be in their worst moment, you know? Like imagine you log on to do keys, but earlier you got in an argument with your wife and like your kid's sick. Or even if you're not married and have kids, You're just having the fucking worst day ever, right? Everyone knows what the worst day ever for them means. Like, you might be not fun to play with later. And then your response might just be, well, don't play. Well, I mean, then you're letting other people down a notch. Like, so, like, certain things can lead to these things happening more, but I imagine that this is probably a lot of things combined and not just this dungeon.
Are they even doing? Actually,
Dude, is it kind of sad, though? Because this team's pretty good, right? Is it kind of sad if you're, like, a dungeon pugger and you're, like... Because I see people that say this in my chat all the time where you're like, man, like, how do you do above, like, 27s and in pugs and stuff like that? Like, how are people doing this? And then, like, you just see a team, like, having a full mental breakdown in a dungeon, muting and not talking to each other with 11 deaths, and they're still just, like, piss vibing and timing a 30. You've got to just feel bad at that point, right? Like, you're just like, what am I fucking doing? Also, they're freaking out about one missed stun and a heal proc. Yeah, that's kind of rough, because, like, especially as a Demon Hunter and in DK, but I think with all tanks, at least this is just for me, and again, I've tanked for, like, a super, super long time in this game. Anytime I ever hear a tank getting mad at a healer for them proccing cheat or dying, it's brutal because it's just never their fault. Even if it is, or it could be, you always could have definitely done something better, including, like, if there's 2 mobs live at the end of the pool, including kiting, like, literally leaping away, right? So, like, that's one thing where I am always like, that person's definitely in the wrong. Who the fuck leaps away in a Mythic Plus? Bro, when there's 2 mobs live at the end of the pool and a 30 fortified, you're not scared about timer, and you know that if they melee you and you're going lower and you clearly don't have personal healing up, right?
Yeah.
Like you just got to make decisions like that
reroll
sometimes.
your other ones, the lower ones. I got a tall Azor.
Not like this specific situation, but just that idea.
Everbloom.
All right, so they're
That's good, right?
okay. So
Yeah.
the team spirits are all still. I wonder what caused it to devolve after this, because they're all just hype. Ellesmere, Hopeful, and JPC are like, we got a Kiwi one, let's go do
That's
it.
free.
Yeah, if Nerf turns his mic on.
Oh,
What
there
did
we
I
go.
do that piss Nerf on? Was it the cheat
I
or
don't
was
know.
it like
here we go.
overlapping
Here we go.
He's just being a drama queen.
the stun?
Let's fucking get it.
So verbal.
I just heard James freak out because we pulled a lot of maggots, so that's why I swept. Like, we pulled a lot of maggots, and I
Okay, so he wasn't supposed to stun first.
didn't
That makes
hear
sense.
any CC, so I just so I just
he was already
pressed
muted
sweep.
before then, I think.
No.
No, he was muted. He was talking during it.
I have no idea. I've never played with anyone that's ever done anything like this, so I'm not sure.
Ooh, true, actually. Actually, sometimes Dryny gets really mad and mutes, but that's like in a raid, and it's not a big deal. And it doesn't, like, not when, like, important thing, not during the race. This is like during farm. This is like the race for them, right? Like, they're doing progression keys. This isn't a progression key, but they're doing this to get a progression key. Okay, still no one's talking. Okay, you can tell the vibes here are real bad. I wonder how this goes. The only way this could go bad is if Nerf comes out and, like, defends muting. Because, like, you know, if you just timed the key and you had a second to think about it, the correct response is like, sorry, I was being a huge bitch. My bad. Let's go next. Right? Like, that's the move, right? Everyone at times is a huge bitch. Everyone in here has done it, right? Sometimes you're just having a bad day, have a bad moment. Let's see how he responds.
I don't know. We pulled those maggots, and you said don't pull 70 of them, and then we pulled them, and then the maggots started casting, and then I pressed sweep at the exact same time that he pressed stun, and then he said I stun, and then he got mad at me for sweep.
Well, the thing is, though, so in a really top group, are you going to try to overlap CCs? No, but, like, it didn't lead to them wiping or even having a death, right? Like, it actually just didn't matter. Like, it was like, they were piss vibing. So, yeah, that kind of stuff happens, but, like, the whole Mythic Plus thing is, like, there's a lot of little small mistakes and small, really good things that happen throughout a key, and it's the average of all of them, and you figure it out, right? Like,
I get that he normally stuns first, so that was my bad, but I just panicked a little bit because
okay, accepting responsibility, that's what we need here. Very good.
James.
Now, the other person accept responsibility for acting slightly bitch-like, and then you're vibing. You're good.
said there was a lot of
Go next
maggots there.
key.
I actually don't think it was a lot of magnets. I think the melee bug is just cringe.
No, it was a later one. There was like 5 maggots, I think.
Let's go back.
Yeah. So someone panic stunned. We've all done this, right? And then and also no one even died from it. So we accept responsibility. We move on. Ellie fucked up. All good. Not playing his main. Sounds good. Oh no. Oh no. Absolute silence. Was this after a long day of keys, or is this like so this is 5:58 p.m. Does Ellesmere live in the future or in Pacific time? Okay, they're like 4 to 5 hours in. Okay. Pacific. Okay. Max doesn't know about the non-verbal lore. Yeah, I don't know about the lore at all. I heard a lot of people saying, I've seen people, I tuned into like Dorky's chat the other day and people were doing the non-verbal thing. I don't think I really get it, or I just don't think it's funny. It's one of those two. Maybe I'll come around on it.
I don't know, but if he doesn't turn his mic back on, I'm probably done playing forever. Unless, like, I mean, I don't know. This is just like actually insanely cringe. I've never seen anybody do this ever.
Oh shit. Well, the way that James is sounding, it sounds like James is in a bad mood in general, and I don't know if it's just from this, but I mean, it is like a big ultimatum, like, well, not ultimatum, but like he's like, yo, I'm like fucking over this shit. Like I told you before, try to give you some context. I know James obviously really well. He really only cares about competing. Like that's it. And like if you like, this is obviously what Nerf has done in this key is like horrible teammate communication, like unplayable, you can't do that kind of thing. And he's just gonna hate that more than anything else.
Give someone the silent treatment or something for overlapping a sweep. Like that is actually insane. You're like 30 something years old.
Oh, ooh, okay. Okay, well, that's a little, okay. Yeah, not wrong, but yeah, the last part, there had to be a long list of things that happened before that point. The 30 years old thing is pretty brutal yet.
If you need to like cool down or whatever, just like take a break, that's fine. But like just muting your mic is like.
Is he at his computer right now? And he's just not saying anything? He's not like away?
Ooh, James is pissed.
Okay, that is, I'm gonna guess that Ellesmere said that to his stream and not in comms. That would be so funny if he said that in comms. He's still, man, if he's at his computer, that's so rough. Because James isn't even being an asshole. I mean, he's being, maybe the you're 30 years old comment thing was like a little too far, but like, I mean, not responding to James in this scenario when James is clearly upset and for the reasons of only their team's performance, you have to just fucking buck up and just respond and try to figure it out. You can't just not say shit.
All right, Billy, Ellie, it's been fun playing with you guys. And I mean it, by the way. Like, yeah, I take it easy. Hopeful.
Okay.
Okay, so James left for the day, but he said before this that like he's gonna be done playing forever with this team. I can't stand him acting like this, which is pretty based. And then he said, I really mean it. I liked playing with you guys. So this could still be resolved, but knowing James, yeah. Because James has stopped playing with this team before, although it was a slightly different team, I think, but.
Yeah, 07.
Okay, Ellesmere streams for another 5 minutes. Damn, and even after all that, he doesn't say anything. Are you sure he's there? Like you guys have watched his stream and he wasn't like away from his computer. Because like, if he ported to Everbloom and then got up from his computer to like cool off while James was saying all this shit, that is totally different than if he's at his computer listening to him say this and then not saying a word. Because that's fucking wild. Check his VOD. And I'm not going to do all that. I'll just take your all's word for it. He's explaining now on his stream. Yeah, maybe we'll look at that later. We'll get Growl on for sure in a second.
What if Nerf's kids just came in and that's what
Yeah, that's what I'm
happened?
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not like maybe you got Growl stuff or you got like dad stuff going on. Surely you just type something then? Nah. I mean, like if someone comes in if he's strafing around, like if I wasn't streaming with a cam and someone came into my room to talk to me and I was just like talking to them, I would be strafing because I can't like exist in WoW without moving around. I can't just stay still. So maybe it was that. Dorky said there were some DMs after, but he wouldn't want to leak them. Well, yeah. Okay, two parts of that. Of course there were DMs after, obviously. And then if he leaked them, that would be insane. So
I mean, that's
yeah.
weird. I don't know.
Damn, he added you? What the fuck did I do? What did I do? He said Max is weak. He made weak auras so he can do keys non-verbally. Huh? Oh, dude, that's like dude, you're right, guys. I did make a weak aura. That was me. I'm a fucking weak aura coder genius. I did make that myself. Is it public yet? I mean, I stopped working on it a month ago. Oh, I forgot.
Not 100% sure what's going on or what the plan is, but
Max, you caused this drama? Yes. That's what I'm saying. Is that it? Is it just 2 more minutes of...
I guess we're turning off stream for now.
Nah, just pug a new DPS. Just open up the group finder. Anyone need a 32? Any 3,500 dudes
I'd like
need
to
a
give
32?
Nerf the benefit of the doubt that something IRL is actually happening.
That's what I'm saying. Like I said, they may have had this conversation a bunch of times before. Maybe everyone's got like a hothead in the group that like sometimes gets really mad or whatever. And like maybe this dude just had the worst fucking day of all time, you know? But like you still gotta like try to, yeah, who knows? So Ellesmere's right. And it's really hard in the moment, especially when you were the target of him being mad, to be like maybe he was having a bad day. That means Ellesmere's got a good mental.
I guess we'll see.
What is it? Nerf POV or it's a biased analysis of the situation? Oh yeah, if we're doing a play-by-play, we'll definitely we'll listen to his thing.
This may be 07. I don't know. We'll see.
And so this was 3 days ago? Yeah, 3 days ago. And then they haven't played since. All right, let's get Growl. Let's get a Growl analysis here. All right, guys, we're bringing special reporter in Pete Zergling to give us some extra information on this case. Hello?
Yo.
All right, what do you got to say?
You know, I got to get a word in. I never thought I'd say it. 'Cause we, you know, we've never really seen eye to eye.
Wait,
But
who?
I got to get a word in for my boy Nerf. I feel like he's taking the brunt of the situation, you know, and I got to put the chatters in line a little bit.
Okay.
I have some specific talking points I want to talk about, okay?
Okay.
So, number one, now go to, while I'm talking, if you don't mind, go to before the leg sweep, the pull in the courtyard.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a big part of the frustration that Nerf doesn't really take out, but you can clearly see that he's frustrated here. So these mobs, these gorgers, are bugged. I think you may have even encountered this.
Oh, yeah.
They literally just drop threat randomly and like melee people. And his team is dying. And every tank in chat right now who's done a high key of this can vouch that this is probably one of the most single infuriating things that happens in Mythic Plus. And this is a dungeon that's been around for like 3 expansions and it's still not fixed. And so he's going through this pull. His team is dying. Mobs are just jumping around, dropping threat. You know, every tank is losing their mental already. It's deteriorating at this point.
Yeah,
And
actually,
you can tell that he's getting and he's not like blaming anyone. No one's blaming him, right?
yeah.
But the mental is going downhill. So this is exhibit 1 here that you got to keep in mind. So now exhibit 2, go to the moment, the leg sweep.
Okay.
Now, chatters who have never been a part of M+ don't quite understand what happens here. Okay, so they go in, Nerf stuns and Ellesmere stuns, and everyone's like, Nerf got mad that Ellesmere stunned, right? That's like pretty much he messed up the CC rotation. That's not why Nerf's mad. So the reason is they're in a homework key, they're doing a 30 weight crest, this key is easy as fuck, and they go in and Nerf is like, yo, stop overlapping my stuns, like I'm stunning first. And immediately, both Ellesmere and JPC chirp back at him, you didn't call it. And in Nerf's mind, he's like, bro, man, like, I'm trying to relax.
I'm always
like,
the
you
first
guys
stun.
were just doing a homework key. Do I really have to call every single one of your guys' buttons? Like, how is it just by default my fault? Like, I literally just said, stop overlapping my stuff. I go first. And you guys are, like, barking at me that I don't call every single stun on a maggot pull in the hallway of a homework key. Like, come on, give me a fucking break. Like,
Yeah.
the thing is, a lot of tanks have to call stuff, especially in NA. They don't have the
Which is bad.
Gingy.
For sure
Right,
bad.
and it's terrible. And you think, and Nerf didn't sign up for this. Like, he sort of did, right? But at the end of the day, like, Nerf is trying to be the best team leader he can, and he's calling stuff out of necessity. Like, I'm sure he would rather crank on some tunes,
Everyone would.
maybe chill, talk to his chat, right? And he doesn't want to have to sit here and lock in and call every single button. And again, right, like, if he's just like, you know, yo, like, shit like that will happen, but for them to, like, bark at him and be like, yo, like, you, immediately they're both like, yo, you didn't say anything. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I get it, like, in a super important key, like, you know, you can deduce that it was Nerf's fault because he didn't call anything, but... so that was, to have the chatters understand better, that's why Nerf is upset. Like, Nerf is upset because he's like, yo, like, do I really have to just call it every single CC on every single key and every single, like, you know, you guys are gonna not do stuff right and, like, not try and think and bark at me? Like, come on.
Well, okay, I have a little perspective on that. So the whole
Okay.
like, oh, well, you're normally the shot caller and you're gonna call things, and oh, I don't like want to call it in this dungeon and we're gonna miss it. Rating totally different than Mythic Plus, right? Like a home. There's really no concept of a homework key when you're doing a progression boss, right? Like that's a little different. But,
What
like,
about on farm?
Well, okay, this is a perfect example. So like, imagine you are a raid leader, which is pretty similar to like a shot caller in Mythic Plus, at least for like in the concept of people listen to your calls and therefore don't try to think about it as much themselves. I mean, that's the only reason a raid leader is valuable, right? If I am calling something for 50 pulls and then I don't call something and then someone dies to it, that is my fault 100%. right? Because you've trained them to listen to you saying that. So like it's okay to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but like that is my mistake, right? I don't fault them as much for that death. It would be really shitty of me to be like, oh well, you guys should know how to dodge that anyway. Like that's a cop out.
Right, but it's not about fault. They're just in some homework key. They're 5 buds playing. Like that's sort of my point. Is like, why do JPC and Ellesmere immediately have to just be like, no, it was your fault for not calling? Like, okay, it was his fault for not calling, but like, give the guy a fucking break, you know? Like he's not sitting here like, oh, that's sort of why well, and again, I'm not trying to defend everything. Like the fact that he's like, yo, I fucking hate playing with this healer, blah blah blah. You know, like obviously that was a comment.
Yeah, I mean,
he's
just totally.
That's why
over
he's
it.
frustrated, because they're like pointing out that it was his fault in a 30 key, and like the one thing that's important there, I think, is that it wasn't even like that bad of a pull, and like no one even died, right? Like Nerf isn't trying to like push responsibility or like flame anybody. Like he's legitimately just saying, like, yo, stop overlapping. Like I stunned first.
Yeah, I didn't know
like,
that.
You know,
I didn't know they already had the conversation specifically addressing the stop overlapping thing. And yeah, I mean, especially. Well, this is kind of why tanks are bad shot callers, because like there are, I mean, and again, you just have to do it. A lot of people raid lead because someone just has to do it, right? So like I understand it that he is, if you're a tank, some pulls you can call everything because it's easy as fuck. And sometimes you're doing the hardest thing by far, and you calling things on that pull is really bad. And that feels bad. And I don't think that was the case on that pull, but like you said, it's a fucking homework key. You've done, how many keys has this team done together? Like, not the full team, but like literally years, right? Like, they've played together for years and years and years. So, like,
yeah,
they probably know at this point that, like, the tank is just the first stun and the first stop. So it's not, like, constantly called.
Well, right. And let me cook about that, too, because a lot of chat doesn't understand interactions. Like, so Exhibit 3, again, is the comment that Nerf made about, oh, I hate playing with this healer. Like, but chat doesn't understand, like, actions speak so much louder than words. Like, Nerf is one of the best tanks and has been one of the best tanks in Mythic Plus for literally years. Like, literally since Legion, MDI. Like, since MDI was born, Nerf was already your dad. And Nerf, as soon as he started playing with Ellesmere, he has been playing with him nonstop for almost 5 years. So, obviously, like, you can say whatever. Like, you can clip any time that Dorki says anything about me, right? Like, sometimes he's joking, sometimes he might be frustrated. At the end of the day, like, when you play with a dude for 5 years, like, there's there's literally almost no other groups that have been together as long as this one, aside from, like, the Echo guys. Right? And it's like, for chat to be like, oh, they're so dysfunctional, they hate each other. Like, dude, chat can't even keep a group in M+ for more than 3 keys.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're gonna shit talk these guys who have been playing together and like been able to put aside their differences and accomplish everything they did for 5 years. And chat literally like doesn't even have the social skills to add somebody to friends list after a key because they just have to leave immediately. Like, I don't understand how they're gonna shit talk these guys. Like, again, it may not be the most orthodox relationship that these guys have together, but I mean, come on, like, I don't know. I think it's a little ridiculous for everyone to be like, yeah, you see these Reddit threads, I can't deal with watching their streams. They're so hostile. They're so mad at each other. It's like, I mean, Reddit, sort of, but that's just Reddit should be how they talk, you know? Like, at the end of the day, they wake up and they want to play with each other and they game and they fucking own. Like, you're really gonna like dissect the words and stuff that they say to each other and be like, oh yeah, these guys are all toxic. They hate each other. Like, they're so mean and this is so dysfunctional. But, you know, yeah, they've been playing together for 4 years and they've, you know, won tournaments and they've been ranked 1 in the world, but they're so dysfunctional. Like, come on, give them a break.
Well, Reddit should just be taken with the most massive grain of salt at all times. But it definitely, even all the success and stuff, they definitely seems like the team dynamic isn't awesome. The way that James reacted to it specifically, he would not have acted like that if he thought that this was like, I mean, maybe I'll hear from James about it, but
well, and again, so before and this isn't me trying to shift anything onto James too, because James has a very reasonable point of view here too. Like, he's like, dudes, like, I'm totally doing this RuneScape stuff. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Like, you guys are probably dragging me out of the depths to do keys right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you guys are going to drag me out of the depths, don't do this shit. Like, come on, let's focus up and let's try hard, you know, because that's who he is. And he's absolutely not in the wrong either. Like, he's like, yo, like, I'm not going to mess. No, again, it's a little tough on Nerf. Because, like, okay, so again, right, Nerf is like, yo, I'm frustrated that my teammates are expecting this much of me. Like, can you guys give me a break? And then what does James do? He literally throws down the ultimatum at the end
gauntlet.
of the key
I'm gone
that
forever.
we're never gonna play forever. And Nerf is probably just like, wow. You know,
I think Nerf
imagine-
probably, even worst case scenario, Nerf needed like a couple other minutes to calm down. I mean, I think James being
right.
mad
But
like that like totally makes sense, to be honest with you. But
absolutely.
yeah. But I think
But
that yeah.
it was just, he's just hard on. It's like, imagine like, you know, you're in, I don't know, it's like any moment that you're in, maybe not the racer world first, but just like at any moment you're like raiding and there's a little bit of a disagreement, and maybe you are in the wrong or whatever, but like to have one of your guys be like, all right, you know, you better admit to it right now or I'm quitting forever.
Okay,
like,
well,
whoa,
okay,
like-
I think there's a very important piece of information. Like, okay, people are taking this as like crazy, insane thing. In 9 out of 10 scenarios, James is like, dude, why the fuck aren't you topping? Nerf's like, dude, sorry, I was being a huge bitch. And then you just fucking move on and you go next key, and it's not a Reddit thread. It's not the biggest deal at all. The issue is that it appeared that Nerf was just silent for like fucking 10 years. And then he just didn't say anything, and then the group ended or whatever. But apparently, according to Nerf, this is what I was saying. I thought he like got up away from his computer. He said he had his headphones out. I fucking believe it. I think it would be, I don't know Nerf very well. It would be insane if Nerf was listening to James say all that stuff and continued to not speak. Like, insanely crazy, unless you like don't respect that person at all. So like, I think that makes a lot more sense. So
well, I think there's a whole lot of ways you can take this ending part of, you know, Nerf jumping around but not saying anything. Obviously, there's other context. There's DMs that we don't know. And chances are, you know, we've seen what goes on. You know, we know that Nerf is frustrated. We know that Nerf probably isn't ready. At the same time, man, I don't know. I feel like Chad just hasn't really had been on like these sorts of teams and stuff. Like, I get that some teams are elite and they don't really deal with this, but like, I don't know, man. Like,
I think you're focusing too much on chat. Of course, chat doesn't know what they're talking about.
Well, when I say chat, I mean the people, but I mean everybody. But I mean, the way I guess is like, I don't know, man. I haven't really had that many teammates. I'm trying to like think about situations where I've had someone come to me and been like, hey, man, I apologize. I'm sorry. I was in the wrong. Like, I feel like...
Really?
Again,
I feel like that's like turbo normal. Like, that happens all the time, right?
I feel like I have to do it. I feel like I have to do
Maybe
it
it's a
every
Mythic
time.
Plus thing. Like, in an organized... Which, again, rating's a lot more people. In an organized group, that happens fucking every poll. Like, that's like all the time that happens.
I guess I mean like a real disagreement. Like, I'm not talking like, oh, some little thing, but like, you know, at the point where people are really, really heated and like not willing to talk about their mic. Like, I don't have very many situations where people are like, there's definitely situations where I'll be like, hey, like, you know, that was my bad, or like, I understand why you did it. I was just frustrated. And then they'll come back and be like, yeah. But there's like very few times where someone
not in the moment
like,
though. That's always something you do after you like log
it's
off
hard,
for the
it's
night.
hard, right?
No,
It's
no,
very
bro.
hard in the moment.
No, yeah,
It's
in the
very
moment,
hard
it
moment.
doesn't. That's something where you log out and then you log on the next day and then you start the Discord call with like, yo, I was in a bad mood yesterday, sorry, and then you just move on, right? Like, but in the
I mean,
moment,
even
it's
that,
like
man,
impossible.
I'm telling you, people don't even. I don't know, man. Like, even I feel like there's some good people that I hang out with in WoW too. But if there's one thing about gamers, and I'm not excluding myself from this, is that people got egos. And it's hard. It's hard to apologize and admit that you're wrong and be genuine about it. I think you might be a little biased because number one, you're also like playing with elite people and you're used to it, and number two, like, I don't know, you're the fucking raid leader. You know, you're the guy that they got to suck up to. It's like, you know, if you're the boss at the company, right? It's like, yeah, people are gonna apologize to you and like admit stuff.
I mean,
because they
I
know
just
that,
think
like,
it's
you know,
like, I mean, when I'm wrong, I instantly say it and go and like, and I'm not afraid of saying that. And I think over time, if someone else messes up in the raid, they know that they can say that and move on too, and that it's not something where they're targeted. Like, I think it's just a mentality. Like, I bet there are Mythic Plus groups that are absolutely fucking sick that are all really competitive, that sometimes go at each other, and they also have the ability to mess up and immediately say that it was them, right?
yeah,
Like,
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just think that for people to just be like, oh, in this moment when I've been tanking for years and I'm calling everything and like I'm in a bad mood and shit's already going wrong, like, I would definitely just apologize and admit fault and say sorry and move on. Like, I just feel like everyone's holding him to way too high of a standards that in the moment, I don't think 9 out of 10 people would take that line. Like, maybe they might have handled it. You know, I think the best thing, obviously, they could have done is be like, sorry, don't want to play right now, right? Like, I think, or that's like a good middle ground that I think most people should strive for at the very least. But I really don't think that most people will say it. I don't know. See, I think everyone in the chat is being like, no, clearly I would say it. But I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think, maybe I just don't have
I
enough
mean,
faith in
you're
humanity,
also
but-
you're looking at a lot of people in chat who are looking at something from an outside view and they're not thinking about it from like not in that scenario. There were multiple people in the group who were tilted, and they were obviously not like you in chat are not tilted listening to that. You're thinking like logical reasoning, like this is what you should do, but like clearly it's a lot harder to do that when you're fucking mad, right? Like everyone.
Well, I'll just say this. I'll just say this, just so people understand. I haven't played with every tank, but I've watched or played with almost every tank that's done high keys, at least since I've done high keys. I think every single one of them has done this at some point. Maybe I would say most of the time they don't announce it, where they're like, I'm not talking for the rest of the key, right? They don't quite go that far. But I can say almost every tank with certainty has had a moment where they've gotten frustrated and felt not appreciated by their group because what things are going on, and they basically
That's
are
probably
like,
not
I'm
even.
gonna keep playing, and they don't apologize at the end of it or say anything about it. You just move on and you just do another key, and eventually they start talking again.
Well, I don't even know if that's related to tanks in general. I would say it'd be like most likely tanks or healers or shot callers that feel underappreciated like that, like you're saying. But either way, I mean, we're fucking sitting here dissecting this shit. Apparently Nerf, I mean, first of all, I hope this is understood. This is the most non-important thing ever, and we're just like finding ways to pass the time.
Dude, chat loves the drama.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, this
people,
is yeah.
You know how like they say while you're streaming that like the average person like how often people come and go in your chat, like you don't realize like it's just, you know, so many people are coming and going, and like the average person is only there for like 5 minutes. Dude, when you're streaming, if you say the word drama, it'll just be a constant cycle. Every 3 minutes someone will come in, wait, drama,
Yeah,
and
people
then they'll
fucking
talk
love
about
drama.
it. Drama. It's like it'll just be like a constant loop in the chat of people talking about it.
Wait.
And as soon as someone comes in and they hear, wait, drama, Ellesmere, drama, Nerf.
It's like those birds from Finding Nemo. They're like mine. It's like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, has Dorki ever been more mad at you than Nerf was in this key?
I don't think Dorki gets mad at me. I think he gets disappointed.
Has he ever been disappointed enough to just fucking not say shit?
The thing that I really enjoy about Dorki, and the reason that I think we've always been able to play together, is we're both like very direct. Like I would say I'm apologetic about it sometimes, mainly because I don't want to get lobbed. And I think he's non-apologetic, but he also knows that like he's just trying to do what's best. So like, you know, he'll openly say like, yo, you're playing like shit, or like you know what I mean? Like he'll say stuff like that, but it won't be because like he's really good at letting it cook. Like at the end of a key, he'll never be like, yo, you fucked up that key. But like so many times the next day he'll be like, yeah, so that Everbloom yesterday, like you didn't have the right build and you forgot to switch your trinkets and you played like shit. Like, can you just watch a video and figure that out? Because I don't want to die that boss again.
Yeah.
But like, he's not really mad. I don't know. There are definitely times when Dorky's like, and again, he might not say it outright, but I get the vibe that he's like, yo, like, fuck this. I don't feel like calling and trying really hard and being tank. Like, I just want to play fucking Boomkin. Like, I'm just going to log on my Boomkin or my Unholy DKs, get someone else to tank.
Yeah. Dude, I wonder how hopeful and Asuna in that key. They were just...
Dude, as a last word, because I don't want to, you know, ramble on for too long. Hopeful definitely gets the best supporting actor award in this. The whole time he's just like, oh no, this drama, I can't believe this, guys. I can't believe I feel like a middle child, a divorced parents. Dude, Hopeful is eating this shit up and he's laughing his ass off. So, like, dude, he is literally the EU agent in this fucking thing,
That's so
breaking
funny.
down ambition.
Yeah, he said he ripped a huge focus up in the middle. 1 second, I'm adding Dorky.
Oh, no.
All right, now we have tank perspective.
Drama?
Drama?
What up?
Drama?
All right, Dorky, what is your
God damn.
Yeah, I know I logged on today. I didn't even know this happened. What is the official Dorky tank take of this?
Which part?
How do you analyze the situation? Who's in the wrong? Who's in the right?
He's carefully crafting his words. This is where I'm just such a bad content creator because I just rip takes.
I'm going
and just
non-verbal.
Burn bridges. Yeah, see, Dorki knows. He's a man of the people.
I think I missed the boat on nonverbal.
Non-verbal? Nah, it's not over yet. Look, man, sometimes you just gotta go non-verbal.
Yeah, I believe that. Wait, you said add me to the call. You have nothing to add? You're just gonna you're just here?
I don't know. I'm just trying to listen.
Okay. So the thing is not the last MDI I did, but the first one, I can kind of relate to this. I forget who we were playing with. I think it was Sang, Preheat, and Lip. And
Who was?
And Jeeth and I were the tank and healer. And Jeeth and I famously do not get along at all. And that was like the last time I think we played together. Like we didn't get along.
Now you're cooking up your past. Yeah, all right.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, this is like a tank v healer. I mean, dude, literally every single day. Like Lip will tell you, or I think Trill was on that team, but like Lip will tell you that like he was just sitting there and just like listening to mom and dad fight just fucking all the time. And that is probably similar to how Hopeful and them felt during this key. That was a long fucking time ago, though.
I'm just waiting to hear Dorky's takes.
What on what?
The thing is, though, is you would log on the next day, and at least while you were competing, you would just like move on and try something else. And I could see this entire team doing that still. Like I could see them talking about it and logging in and gaming, but
they absolutely will.
I don't know if
it's
James
just
will.
James that.
I don't know if
James
James will.
Yeah, James is like, I think James is the only one that really has a problem with all of this. Bro, he said some brutal shit.
Well, the only thing that he said that wasn't like kind of based that was brutal was the "you're 30 years old" thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That
part
rough.
hurts the most because I turned 30 this year.
Yeah, man.
God damn, that fucking hurts, man.
Yeah,
Punched in the gut.
you felt that in
play
your
it again.
soul. Play it again. Wait, let me fucking.
Well,
Yeah,
guys,
that exact
I gotta
part.
find it. It's like right before this. It's before he went offline, I think.
I've never seen anybody do this.
Oh, here we go.
ever.
Here we go.
You give someone the silent treatment or something for overlapping a sweep. Like, that is actually insane. You're like fucking 30-something years old.
Oh my god, the way he said, he goes, "You're fucking 30 or something
You're like
years
fucking
old."
30 years
Bro,
old.
wait, how old is James? Can't be that.
He's like 25 or some shit, 26. I don't know.
He's fucking getting there.
That hits
If you
like.
need to,
Wait, did he
cool
say
out
with
or
kids?
for overlapping forever. Like,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is
He's like, you're like
actually
fucking
insane.
30 or some shit with kids.
You're like fucking 30
I
something
don't
years
know.
old. If you need to like cool down or whatever.
Oh no,
just-
he didn't say you're 30 years old with kids. That would have been crazy.
Yeah, that is rough. I mean, knowing
James
them,
had to be.
they're-
This is built. This is built the fuck up. Like this is something that James has been thinking about for a while. I don't know if this has happened before.
Yeah,
but
no, I don't know if you guys all were thinking that this is just something that happened in the moment. It's like, oh, some small shit happened. Why are we getting mad over it? This shit's been going on for a while now, and it's like this was a breaking point.
Okay, so which side do you
It's been rough.
which side do you stand on then? Do you think that it's a fundamentally dysfunctional team, like the people just don't work well with the other people, or do you go by the I forget which person said this, but it basically was referring to like a really famous and successful band, and a reporter was asking them about all of the like arguments they've had creatively about their music and like how they've broken up a bunch of times, and their response was like, name me a great band, like an all-time great band that doesn't have constant disagreements and arguments. Like, is it that? Is it like, are you really gonna have like a really, really great team without having a lot of disagreements and stuff like that? Like, which side do you sit on?
It
that?
happens to every team. I mean, it's happened on Echo's team plenty of times.
Yeah.
People don't really see it a whole lot, but it's happened to Echo a ton. I mean, like, ultimately, it was the healer's fault, so, like, I will say that for sure. But the reaction to it was uncalled for. Like, the whole, I hate this healer sometimes, and by sometimes, I mean most of the time, that's, like, a little bit uncalled for. And I also think, like, calling him 30 years old is a little bit uncalled for.
Yeah, that's,
And
I mean,
also
that's
think,
crazy flame.
Yeah, right. Like, it's just the reaction to all of that was uncalled for. But, I mean, it was just, like, a culmination of all the stress in these high keys at the moment. And I think Nerf was actually literally talking about it just earlier. I mean, just now, like, literally. He turned on his stream. Its title is Back to Verbal, talking dramas into keys. And he's been, just talking about it. People are eating this shit up. Thousands of viewers are tuning into Nerf's stream more than ever before.
I mean, this is the
People love this content.
This is the exact kind of thing that no one will remember in 2 days, and this is also extremely indicative of there
people
being,
absolutely will remember.
There's nothing.
no,
There's nothing that's going on at this moment. That's why that this is something that anyone cares
Oh
about.
yeah, this is the drama that we needed.
It
Can we
was
give a
fucking
shout out
sick.
to Ellesmere here? I think Ellesmere deserves credit. I think both for handling everything very well,
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
no, I know what you're gonna say.
and also, well, maybe not, but
I agree.
also, one thing that you guys might like you wouldn't know unless you were in that moment is it was spreading like wildfire. Every single Twitch chat was like, dude, Ellesmere and Nerf and JPC ambitions over, like within minutes of this happening.
Oh, that's so
and
funny.
the viewers were piling into Ellesmere's chat, right? His viewer count was like, you know, when you're about to get like a world first 32 key, that was the viewer count of him just sitting here at the end of Waycrest Manor. And for him to be like, you know, this is just not a good time for our team. I'm going to turn my stream off instead of milking it. Like, dude, I would have fucking...
Oh, yeah, you're the
that was-
complete opposite. Yeah, you're a complete asshole, and you would just fucking eat this shit up. And also, you'd be fucking flaming too.
Dude, I'd be
Ellesmere's the same,
flaming.
though.
I'd open up MS Paint. I'd make a tier list.
Yeah.
There'd be like a video. I'd get a thumbnail.
Well, see, the thing is I mean, I did actually gain a bit of respect from Ellesmere from this
I mean,
key
we're
and how he
milking it
handled
right
that.
now, and it's 3 days later. Sorry.
Well, I just mean like, okay, so for a team to work, if you have someone like if Nerf constantly gets mad at Ellesmere, I don't watch this team ever, but it sounds like that is like a recurring theme. That the way that Ellesmere responds to that is the reason that this team can continue playing, I think. Because he like plays and rolls with the punches, and I'm sure there's been times where he's fought back and has gotten really mad, but like if Ellesmere is the kind of person to like not take shit from nobody, and every single time Nerf said some passive aggressive shit like that and like went back at him, that team would have died in like fucking a month, less than that, right? Like you would have never been able to play. So like Ellesmere being able to like catch all those strays but then just keep queuing up is I think most people wouldn't deal with that and would quit. Not to say that that's like okay and good, but like, you know, that is, I mean, it seems like he takes it really well.
The thing is, a lot of people don't understand, like, when it comes to doing these types of high-end coordinated content, it's not about like the friendships and stuff. It's not like, oh, like, you know, I only play with this guy because he's nice and all. But like, no, nobody gives a fuck. Like, people are playing, they're playing with each other because they know that they're the best and there's nobody else that can.
Yeah,
replace
Nerf would
them.
just straight up queue with another healer and replace him if he.
Well, but that's not true. I mean, like, who else is he gonna play with on NA? There's like literally no
Dorki
healers on
just
NA.
realized what he was saying.
Yeah, so
Oh,
what,
no!
so what you said was
He
that.
slipped.
So yeah, so what you actually mean
What?
is you think that he would play with someone else. There's just no one else, so they're actually just stuck in this like abusive relationship and they can't
Well,
get
yeah,
out
I
of it.
mean, like, bro,
What do you mean?
who's he
Well,
gonna
yeah,
fucking
that's
play with? And
really
also,
bad.
Who is Ellie gonna play with? Like, Ellie doesn't want to play with anybody else. That's how their group works. They've been tight together because they've had success playing with each other.
What Dorky means is that everybody puts up with the tank being toxic because they're good and they can't find a new tank. And every tank puts up with a shitty healer because he doesn't want to have to explain every single little thing again to a new healer, and he'd rather just play with the same shit.
Bro, all you fucking high mythic plusers need to get therapy instantly if this is how this is going on. That's crazy.
Like, they're one of the very few groups that have stuck together. It's only them and Echo. Because, like, who else can you think of that has stuck together for this long? It's really nobody else.
That's
Like, if
hype.
you think about it, almost all the high-end teams have dissolved or disbanded or, like, you know, regrouped at some point.
Yo,
show the thumbnail on stream, Max. You see what Dorky linked?
Wait.
One of the clip leech YouTube guys made
Oh, is that the thing? Oh,
look at the thumbnail.
dude, Ellesmere looks like a fucking Chad in that picture.
Yeah.
Oh,
that-
shit.
Holy fuck.
That's from his GG photo shoot, I think. It's a good
That's
picture.
good.
Oh, I see. So that's like Nerf's logo,
That's
I
Nerf's
guess,
logo, yeah.
with a
And then the
muted
no mic.
sign.
Yeah.
Oh, those fucking dude, that's so good.
Shit, Ellesmere's in chat.
All right, let's get Ellesmere and Nerf in here. Let's figure all this shit
I
out.
heard. Well, Nerf's in the key at the moment. I mean, I heard they're gonna continue playing.
Let's get.
But
Well, I'm
James
calling
probably
James
wins.
up.
Yo, Ellesmere, where am I gonna play? What the fuck? What's going on?
What do you mean?
Oh, dude.
Why do you think I'm here, dude? I'm trying to keep this fucking group together. I'm going nonverbal.
I don't think it's really complicated. Nerf clearly had a mentee B and looked like a total idiot because he was acting like a huge bitch, and then that happens to the best of us, and then it's happened to everyone in this call.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what you do is after that, you fucking relax for a second, you come back and you go, hey guys, sorry, I was acting like a huge bitch, and then you just go again, and then you fucking move on.
And part of this just stems from M plus just being way too fucking hard now. Like the amount of coordination and like weak words on that stuff required are like way too high. In fact, I think Nerf was literally just talking about this. Like he was just talking about like how like it's just fucking too much nowadays, and then it's just like in the moment thing. M plus is just that fucking hard nowadays.
Yeah.
It's too much. That shit is awful. Yeah, Ellesmere understands. I mean, I think anyone who plays the high keys at the moment understands. It is bad.
Wait, what's bad? Like how
The
hard?
difficulty of M plus right now is just way too absurd, and the weak auras and like everything.
Oh yeah, it's I can see that. Like I mean, anytime you get high enough in keys, right? The amount of things that can like instantly brick your key are like they multiply, and they're like it's like you just get one shot by missing one thing. So then you're just stressed out the whole key, except for in that 30 apparently. They were just fucking.
Yeah.
They were just fucking
So,
vibing.
except for weight crest. That's a nice chill 30 weight crest.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna look at this tier set shit. I'll let you guys go do keys.
All right.
This drama's been
Thanks for the
analyzed.
drama talk.
All right. See you later. Oh wait, we do actually have to listen to. We have to. Well, fuck, I shouldn't have hung up. We have to listen to Nerf's response, if not for any other reason. But someone said he called me out, and I just don't know how I fit into this. But I will find out. I don't know. Okay, so first thing he does is he turns his stream on with no starting soon screen, and he's immediately gaming. That goes crazy. All right, what does he say?
The Dogzone macro incident.
Wait, he said back to verbal talking drama into keys, but it's after they leave Everbloom. Yeah, exactly. This is the 50 Cent why he say fuck me for gif. That's this right now. Skip towards the end. All right. All right, talk about the drama. Let's hear it from Nerf's POV himself. It's like an hour in. Okay.
You got frozen. People in melee and it just up with a sweep and a stun. Right?
All right, here we go.
Boom. That one with the leaf.
Here we go. Nerf got Billy in the divorce. Yeah. Yeah, look. He's queuing up with only one of the mages. They each got custody of a different mage.
The drama, okay, so here's what happened, right?
Here we go.
From the clip, it looks like it's just an overlap with a sweep and a stun. And then that's it, just something minor. But it's
pulling those mobs on a boss scene.
it's
so
it's
bad for everyone.
a little bit more than that. Nobody in the group wants the shot call, okay? Because being able to play at a high level and shot call is
Extremely hard.
very hard, right? Most of you in the chat, like you guys are just passenger princess in the keys, right? You just go into your keys and then you sit there and you just press your DPS rotation and then you deplete
I mean, he's not wrong.
the key because
He's not wrong, and the biggest thing that separates like top groups from even pug groups, which I mean pugs are normally not even in comms, having a shot caller that will play their class, you know, very well, not the very best. Like there ain't nobody out there fucking shot calling, and just I guess the best way to put this is anyone who's actually hardcore shot calling and doing it really well is just going to lose. The version of them that isn't shot calling is just a better player. Right? Hopefully you understand that. Like there's no one who loses 0% value of their personal play to shot call. Like everyone loses something. So it's just about, you know, someone making that sacrifice and also being really talented at it. It's really hard to do. That person is so OP for a group. It hard carries the fuck out of everything. It's so good. And it's so hard, and then people, it's just, I mean, it's like raid leading and raid, right? Like playing and raid leading, which happened for like the longest time. It's an extremely, like, unappreciated role. Like, you would be doing so much for your guild, and then you would, like, people would just look at, like, the damage meter or, like, something happening, and it's like, it's never accounted for. It's like a thankless job. Shot calling, outside of the people who play, it's a thankless job for Twitch chatters. It is the people who play with these people know. But, like, I totally get why that's frustrating for him, seeing that.
And then you complain, oh, nobody in my group kicks or does AoE stops. And then you're also...
What is it? Miraz and Gingy do that good? Oh, yeah. Miraz and Gingy are both insane at that. Wait, people are saying Gingy, he definitely had some better... He'd play better if he could blinders his class. Yeah. Gingy, me, raid leading, Miraz, raid leading, anyone playing the game and shot calling or raid leading would objectively do a better job personally if they weren't doing those things. You are just adding things on to what you are doing. There's no other, it's impossible to not be the case, right? The better you are at it, the less that it takes from what you're doing, right? But it always takes. There's no argument, right?
also part of the camp that says there's too many kicks and AoE stops in Mythic Plus.
600k absorb.
And then, like, if you look at world first rating, right? That's why they evolved to 21st man, because you can't actively play the game and call stuff efficiently.
Yeah, it's always player A is using 100% of their mind to play the game, and player B is using 80-70%, and 30% of it is calling things or raid leading. Which player is going to play better? It's always the first one, so it's just more efficient. It's why you would want to do that in Mythic Plus as well if you could. And also tanking in Mythic Plus, again, a lot of tanks do this out of necessity because they're the consistent person in the group who they're playing with, and they end up calling things. But tanks calling things is so bad. You would always want probably a ranged, but in my opinion, definitely not a healer and definitely not a tank. But oftentimes tank do it just out of pure necessity. Same thing why there's a lot of tank raid leaders in guilds. It's the exact same thing. I don't know why it is. Just like tanks just feel obligated to, maybe you're already tanking because someone has to, so you're already in the I'll do things that people don't want to do but someone has to do it mindset. But yeah, I don't know, like how hard a pull is as a DPS is more consistent than as a tank. Like as a tank on some pulls you can just like full payphone and there's no way you could ever die. You're always doing top damage, but like you're trying to do as much damage as possible. But like on some pulls as a tank, you're doing the absolute hardest thing of all time. And sometimes it's like absolutely piss. And like having your shot caller do something on like hard tank pulls is like really, really bad. It's hard for a sixth man to know when a VDH can silence things for like a minute straight, or they have to kite and can't do certain things. Also, like sometimes tanks, like Vengeance DH specifically, have so many sigils that you don't know exactly when they're going to choose to use all of them, kind of thing. So actually it makes more sense for a Vengeance to shot call stops specifically because they have so many stops themselves.
So when it keeps happening over and over, like that was one time obviously, but it keeps happening over and over every dungeon, every day. It's a bit frustrating, especially.
No, you guys are saying like what class should do it. I don't know if it's a class thing. Like I can only give my perspective on this from raid leading, but I don't even know if it's like a range. Like in an ideal perfect world, if you could craft a raid leader, you would have them play, I don't know, like a BM Hunter or something, and then BM Hunter would always be in. But in reality, the class that you want to raid lead with, I don't even think it matters what role or spec or anything you are. The answer is whatever spec you're best at. Like for me, I'm better at Windwalker than I am other specs because I've played it for longer, even though Windwalker has a decent bit going on. When I play Windwalker on a raid boss and raid lead, and I did this in like the Busy With Your Dad guild in the beginning of the expansion or in like Mythic Plus or whatever, I lose like 0 damage because I can just like do it in I can like play Windwalker with my peripheral vision and just focus on everything else, and I can just do that. But I can't do that with Demon Hunter. I just started playing Demon Hunter again this patch. I can't do that with certainly any ranged DPS. Like I would be a significantly better raid leader as a Windwalker than I would a BM Hunter, right? So the answer is just whatever you're best at, and you will lose the least amount of performance on that spec by doing it. That's the answer of what you should do.
When you're playing that comp and you don't have an AUG as the tank for extra mitigation, and you don't have any tank external, and then
okay, so their class is using, or their comp is makes tanking harder, which is true.
Oh, it's a little bit frustrating. And then take a look at Limit Maximum, right? He does.
Okay, this is where I haven't been called Limit Maximum in a while. That's a fucking throwback.
Take plus a couple of times, and then was one of the first things he do. He wants a weak aura that automates the AoE stops so he can play non-verbally, right? He doesn't want to call that stuff out. He wants a weak aura. He gets a weak aura made so he doesn't have to call that stuff out.
That's actually not what that weak aura is, but his point is not having to shot call makes you a better player, which is true. But I don't even know if it's going to be worth pointing this out, but that's actually not the point of the weak aura. So I'll show you what the weak aura is. So here's the weak aura right in the middle of my screen. He said there's a reason that Limit Maximum wanted to make like a weak aura that does everything non-verbally for you. That is what this weak aura turned into, but that's actually not why I made it. If I was gonna do high keys this patch, I knew I was gonna shot call because I can just, I have a lot of practice doing that, so I would be more natural at doing it than other people. And what I wanted this weak aura to do was not actually to link it to the group. This was never to be linked to everyone else, and this weak aura is going to call everyone's CDs, even though it certainly can do that. The only purpose it exists and why it looks like this and why it says their name is to aid in the act of shot calling, right? So, for example, if I'm in comms with all these people, I could have all of the stops listed over here and I could just go through them in order, but that involves me looking farther away from my character. looking at a list of things, deciding and remembering which one is next, and then like making decisions based on that. Can you do that? Yes. Is that more cognitive load than just having a rotation or a priority system or a priority list of the abilities handle that for you, and all you're doing is calling the CC and the name, and you know what's coming next all in one little spot? So you're just calling what you're seeing rather than making decisions, right? Like everyone talks about the coggy load debuff of being a shot caller. The purpose of this weak aura was not to work non-verbally in groups. This was specifically for me to call things and having to think less by being smarter about it beforehand and being able to call things, but aiding the ability to do that. That's why this exists. So he said I made that thing to do keys non-verbal. That's actually not why I made that thing at all, but it is how it is being used.
Because it is hard to do. And then I mute for half a dungeon and everybody goes crazy. Junk.
Okay, that's not good. So he's saying, well, he's using me for credibility. He's saying you have Max making this thing, which shows you that, like, you know, non-verbal is like the idea because it does make you play better. But then saying that, like, oh, well, okay, so I mute for half a dungeon and everyone goes crazy. But like, yeah, but you muted and the perception was because you were mad, not because you were just like, I mean, even if you would have said in Discord, like, hey guys, I'm like fucking feeling real down right now. I can't really shot call for the rest of this dungeon. I'm not feeling it. That's fine. But you didn't do that. You muted because, well, I said, don't think his point needed credibility. Everyone knows shot calling is incredibly hard. Well, that mean that's why he did it though. I thought you were arguing why he was doing it. I mean, it was like a really brutal mute with people being actively mad that you're muted during the dungeon and then unmuting. Like that, I think that's a bad. That's
Expansion's muted and nobody says anything.
Wait.
Sweetheart, and I mute for half a dungeon and everybody goes crazy. Junkrat.
Okay, that's, again, let me give a raid perspective of this because like I don't do high-end Mythic Plus shot calling. If I got mad at someone, okay, if me and someone else had an argument in a raid boss, and I'm used to calling things for the whole pull, and we're in world first progression, and I mute my mic for the rest of that pull and don't call fucking anything, and then we end up wiping, and someone, hey, guess what? The entire fucking raid is going to be mad at me for acting that way, and they would all be exactly right. And if I were to come back a couple days later and just say like, hey, well, it's easier to do what I'm doing when I'm not talking, and some people don't do that, and this guy made a weak aura just so you specifically can't do that, so why is anyone mad? Like, what? Like, the reality is I would have just been a huge bitch to all my boys, and they're all mad at me for that. Then there's a reason why. Maybe he gets into that in a second.
Plays 3 expansions.
Bro, there's just timers, bro. Why do I need to speak?
It's muted and nobody says anything. Sweetheart plays muted. Sometimes both of them are in the same key. And I don't know, everybody goes crazy over a mute in a dungeon. And then the rest of you guys
multiple times.
just, you guys are the same. You play your Mythic Plus and you don't say anything either.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'm going to try to give him a bit of credit here. I think he's kind of looking at this the same way Growl is. So here's my perspective. I logged on today, and I didn't know any of this shit happened because I've just been playing hockey and doing some other shit over the weekend. I didn't stream watching football. And I didn't see or read any of the response to this. I'm guessing that people just were mad at Nerf because it looked pretty bad from his perspective. So I'm guessing that his response is like very negatively charged, and it's for what I'm sure a lot of people on Reddit going right after him. And he's like responding to them, and he's saying like, you guys on Reddit don't even know what the fuck this is like, which is correct. Not like good workplace communication, like team communication, like that, regardless of your perspective, he did that really poorly. But like, he's just, you know, he's just saying like, he's basically saying, I'm tired of all you fucking idiots on Reddit thinking you know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. That kind of makes sense. Yeah, still pretty rough so far.
We can do Rise. The context of the mute, everybody, look, Ellesmere, Billy, they both stop talking. They don't explicitly mute, but they both stop talking when they start getting tilted. You can literally go into any VOD and see that. Like it's not like it's not that crazy. Just because they don't explicitly do it doesn't mean they don't do it.
Yeah, Growl said as much. Like other people on his team do it all the time. Now, is that a good team dynamic? No, but it is. You know, he feels singled out in this scenario. The one thing that I have definitely learned from this is that team's mental is fucking horrible. Like, so bad. But it is, it's hard
like
to find good
If you
ones.
ask the most winning team, Echo, who should be the shot caller, it is not the tank. but nobody in NA. You could just say nobody in NA wants to step up to do it
True.
because it's hard.
I mean, yeah, it is objectively true. The tank shot calling in Mythic Plus is very stupid, but they do it out of response. But like, again, that can be part of why he's annoyed, but still the way it was handled was really bad. And even the yeah, I can see
It's
why
hard to
feels
play
about that.
well and do it at the same time.
I don't listen to this group all the time, but a lot of this just seemed like a lot of lack of accountability just in general. Like the way you start this, like for me to hear this and immediately respect it would be like hearing him starting to talk about this, and the first thing he says is, regardless of who it's happened to before or other people, is just like, hey, I was acting like a huge bitch in the other key, got a little heated. It's unfortunate it blew up online because this kind of stuff happens all the time. It's not always me, you know, but like, you know, I had like a really bad moment and I shouldn't have acted like that. And then getting into all this stuff. But like, it's from the very beginning, days later,
over and over.
time to cool off, and it's yeah.
Like,
It's a lot of
obviously, but it keeps happening
not a lot of accountability taking and deflecting and stuff. Yeah.
over and over every dungeon every day. It's a bit frustrating, especially when you're playing that comp and you don't have an AUG as the tank for extra mitigation, and you don't have
That part definitely matters. I skipped back a little bit. Here we go.
Like if you ask the most winning
Oh, I just skipped ahead. Shit.
play well.
Yeah, also, by the way, we're just dissecting this because we're like having fun. There's nothing else to do. But really, the only thing that he shouldn't give a fuck what anyone on Reddit, or it's hard, I guess it's hard to say that when like, you know, his shit blows up and then people are mad at him or whatever. Like, it's really just his team. Like, it's what you say to your team in those moments. And like, you know what might have happened since this stream? Because right now he's not responding to his team. He's responding to people calling him an asshole on Reddit. I think. I don't know. Don't go on Reddit. But really sounds like from Growl and everyone else that's what they did. What he might have done since that last stream 3 days ago was message his team and be like, hey, I had a bad dungeon and I played really bad and I shouldn't have muted like that. Shot calling is really stressful, you know, whatever. He may have like taken accountability, right? He could have messaged James. He could have messaged all these people. And that's the thing that actually matters, right? And then now it's just like he's responding to Reddit, which he feels like. And the reason why he's not taking accountability is that he feels like he has to defend himself from people who are attacking him.
Say I don't mute, and then I call out Ellesmere on it right there. Then everybody's, oh man, why's this guy always flaming Ellesmere? It's just a minor thing, a leg sweep. Like, who cares? Like, it's literally no different. It's if I mute or unmute, it's literally the same thing. The response would be the same.
Wait, what?
Like let's say I don't mute, and then I call out Ellesmere on it right there. Then everybody's, oh man, why's this guy always flaming Ellesmere? It's just a minor thing, a leg sweep. Like, who cares? Like, it's literally no different. It's if I mute or unmute, it's literally the same thing.
Oh, it's turbo different. It is beyond the realm of comprehension different.
The response would be the same.
I mean, he's saying that people, okay, when he's saying the response will be the same, he's saying that like he's gonna get shit no matter what. Like, he's gonna have people complain at him in his Twitch chat. I bet this happens all the time because he plays with Ellesmere, and sometimes him and Ellesmere go at each other, and Ellesmere has a bigger stream, and you know, you have more fans. People are gonna take sides probably of the person they're a fan of, and then like he has people being like, hey, you're mean to Ellesmere. So like he probably does hear this all the time, whether he mutes or doesn't mute. He's basically saying no matter what I do, I'm just gonna have people mad at me. That's kind of what he's saying. He's not like thinking about it specifically like, oh, I didn't shit on him, even though I think he did. And then he muted. He did both, but yeah.
You're always flaming him. You call people out on stuff they do. That's why you guys are there hard stuck at 3K. Hey streamer, I'm hard stuck at 3K. How do I improve?
Oh, yeah, get shit on chat. Listen to this.
It's always my groups that are depleting the key because you have no accountability.
Well, yeah, this is not the best time to make that point. This isn't the best time to make that point. Oh, that's not the best time to make that point. Because like the from someone, because like I like understand what it's like playing with top, like being like doing something competitively. Like I get like the my impression of this is that he has taken like almost no accountability, at least for this exact situation with the way he started this. Again, maybe he handled it with his team and took accountability, and I missed that. But that is not the time to tell Twitch chat they don't take accountability for sure. That's like a raid leader saying, don't die to this mechanic, and then immediately dying to it.
You go and stream, and then you say, oh, man, look at these guys. Like, you can't take so...
Yeah, this is really hard, though. It's hard to tell because, like, right now, he's not on stream just, like, talking out in the open and just going through it. You can tell that he's, like, defending himself from his chat. I'm not reading his chat, but I imagine... Let's see. Yeah, I mean, right? So, like... He's not professing this information. He's responding to someone attacking him, which gives it a bit more context.
Somebody calling out somebody for something.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably just going to be a lot of the same thing.
You said you hate playing with... I say I hate Ellesmere every day. It's literally no different than another day.
Oh, this would be a perfect time. You're exactly right, the mailman. This would be a perfect time for someone to go into his chat. Not like right now, but like when they were talking about all this, to be like, guys, please, your perspective is not understood. Please only type if you're high IO. Oh, someone's doing it. Oh, that's okay. Fucking perfect. Okay, I thought that was fucking insane. That's great. Over 500. Also, wait, what did he say before this?
In another day. You said you hate playing with... I say I hate Ellesmere every day.
Well, that's not good, right? Like, I mean, so let's hold on a second. So that can't be good. What do you mean it
It's
sucks?
literally no different than...
What do you... It's no different. Why are you guys freaking out about me saying I hate Ellesmere this one time? I always say... I tell him every day I hate him. Bro, High Mythic Plus groups are fucking wild, bro. They're honestly, like, High Mythic Plus groups are like kind of low-key turning into RBGs. Well, not like, you know, if you know, you know. Not like that. Like, RBGers are still on a different stratosphere when it comes to that kind of stuff. But what I mean by this, like, I remember, okay, so Tags used to stream RBGs in Discord, most notably not on Twitch because that would not be stream-safe content. But what they would do is, like, okay, let's just say this rogue gets capped on. They would spend the entire rest of the RBG shitting on this rogue. And he'd just be, like, sheepishly defending himself. And then they would just be shitting on this guy. By the way, still playing. They don't intend to lose. But they're not talking about winning. They're only talking about how bad this rogue is. And then the game will end. And without saying a word, they don't even replace the guy. They just fucking queue up again and just keep going. And it's like, how the fuck is this real? And it sounds like that's kind of how this team operates. Anymore? I think that might be it. Yeah, he's just chilling now. All right, our dissection of this has ended. My only real takeaways from this is I definitely think, I don't know exactly what he talked to his team, and it seems like his accountability isn't awesome for it. But that's not the biggest deal. That group's communication and atmosphere is, again, you guys might have already known this, because when I've mentioned this before, it sounds like you guys said that happens in like all of their keys. Sounds like that group's mental and they don't get along very well at all, just in general. Like, not very good. And they don't have any other option to play with anyone else, so they just fucking log in all day and just queue it up anyway, which is crazy. And maybe Nerf was just having a bad moment, you know? He's having a bad week. I don't really know him enough to say otherwise. But definitely not great.